Welcome to the debut
episode.
There you go. I couldn't get an episode out. It's like, episode. Welcome to the debut episode of the Unscripted Agent. Why, people may ask, I'm doing something called the Unscripted Agent.
We all are questioning.
Everybody is. Good and bad. But in today's world, there's too much, dare I say, bull junk. Since we want to kind of...
Try to keep it a little PG.
Since you're kind of...
It's going to slip. It'll slip.
Yeah, they're going to be... Sorry. This guy will edit. Maybe do bleeps. What do you think? Bleeps?
Bleeps work. You get the point. You get the message.
Right. Got it.
The intensity of it. But
then, again, being real is what this is about. And I'm going to introduce you to a lot of people in the industry that are about being real. Not about being on Facebook, being fake, being TikToked and Instagrammed and all that bull junk. I want to say the other word so bad.
Just go for it. Just you're literally in the same breath. They're saying, fake and this. Just.
I know. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 25 episodes, maybe more. See how it goes. But introduce you to real people. Talk to them. See about different things. For example, our first episode is going to be overcoming fears. How you had to overcome those things and what you need to do to be who you are and be as real as you are. So with that said, I'd like to introduce you to Amber Steiner with Realty Group.
Yes. Thank you.
There she is. She's been here drinking all day, so she's ready for this whole thing. And she's got a base down, so don't worry if you need the showing.
Raphael, I don't have my drink in front of me.
She's got a base down, so don't worry about that.
Oh, no.
Did you forget about the drink, Rafi? Not mine, hers. I mean, you're the vibe. Yeah. Do you know which one it was?
Yeah, the Chino Latino. Yes, thank you.
Oh, nice. The what?
The Chino Latino.
No, what happened to that restaurant? You remember that restaurant downtown?
Do.
Was it Minneapolis, right?
Correct.
Like upstairs,
that's where you
yeah,
remember
upstairs,
the shots?
Yeah, right?
And everyone's pounding the
table. I mean, I don't drink.
Yeah, definitely good times there.
Mm-hmm.
Too many that I...
Well, it closed down, right?
It did.
Well, because the bar was upstairs, right?
Yep,
and
then downstairs.
You ate downstairs?
Yep.
You asked me when I got this.
Yeah. That looks fresh.
The whole thing, it is, most of it.
And you got more.
There's...
This
is
stopped?
16 hours?
Did you puss out?
Oh, we can use the word...
Sorry.
Okay, we said puss out, all right. This is 16 hours of work so far. There's like 30 more hours to go. You can see the...
Yep.
I'm doing a full sleeve.
Well, lots
And we're like, why? Why are you doing that? Because I want to.
No judgment.
Why? Are you sure?
None whatsoever. I got a half back done.
I know.
I got half a back
done. You gonna do the whole back?
No, but I will carry it down my arm eventually.
You are gonna do a sleeve?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I got thank you.
Oh, look at that.
The
vibe. Everybody, the vibe.
Could I get a baby straw, please?
How's your gin fizz? He doesn't want to talk.
No.
Okay. Overcoming failures is our first episode.
Wow.
And the reason you're on the first episode is because of how I know your history, how much of a badass mom you are, right? Don't start crying on me either.
Thank you.
You can come in. Hey, just whenever. Just, wave, say hi. Come see me. Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Earlier, I was like, hey, Mom.
Pajarito.
No, we were like, Mom, what's up?
Oh, come see the vibe at Pajarito, St. Paul. Mm-hmm. And then, who this guy is.
Miles.
Bar's great. Miles is good too. So I wanted to have you on because when I think real and when we're doing work together, I don't have to, there's no fluff, right? That we just get to a point, and I think that's missing in today's world. Like,
absolutely.
You can be all over the place with, hey, there's so many things, you can do this and you can do that. The realism of our job is you're helping somebody. You're their agent, and you can be an agent, a sports agent, real estate, you're a subsidiary of what they are and what they want. And you meld well with that. But I would like to just step back, talk a little bit about what you did in the past and how you became a real estate agent, because I see you outworking some of even the bigger teams that I know of out there that don't have 2 kids at home, that don't have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they look, again, the unscripted agent look like they've got it all together. And by the way, they don't.
No.
So I would like to talk to you about somebody that does have it all together, I think.
But, well, then I got you fooled too.
Right. But then that gets to the point of being true and factual about your life and how you can do the things you do. So
Yeah.
why don't we start with like where you grew up, a little bit about your background,
Yeah.
and then just take me through your
Yeah.
life.
All right. Well, I was born in 1988. No, I'm kidding.
She's 12.
No, I was born and raised here.
In St. Paul?
Just outside Oakdale.
See, I know this, but I'm going to ask anyway.
All right, that's fine. Ask away.
All right.
Suburb Oakdale. Moved out to New York for about 3 years right after high school, and did some college
Why?
nanny. I was
Why?
a nanny.
No, why did you leave?
I just didn't quite know where I wanted to land.
Okay.
I got accepted to a few colleges, but I just didn't see that life for me. I wasn't ready to go back into school.
Got it.
Want to experience more. I've always been kind of.
Are you a fan of school?
Yeah, I love learning. Well,
do?
I love learning.
Okay, you love learning, like learning to learn, or like
It's things I'm interested
you don't
in.
like
I
being
wanna-
forced. Yeah, interested.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but you don't like being forced into college and be like, you got to get a 4-year degree, blah blah blah.
No, I don't think I was ever going to do that.
What do you think about that, like in general?
Well,
and just
I
be
feel-
completely transparent.
well, just
like,
from-
I don't think people need a 4-year degree. That's just my opinion. I have 2 of them, and I use either one of them.
No, especially with the dire need of tradespeople right now, and I see it and I feel it, especially being in this industry where
Sure.
homeowners, real estate agents, we're always looking for electricians, plumbers, and trim carpentry, anything like that. And there's such a lack of professionals in that, experienced people,
Right.
and those that are experienced, they're going to be bowing out soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would,
And because of the lack of the others, they're busy as all get out.
yeah.
The availability is very limited.
It's very
right?
hard.
Okay.
Yep. And those guys are worth every penny. I know sometimes if some homeowners feel like they get in charge of the nose, but these guys, their time is valuable. They're important.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if you can't do it, I've always said if you can't do it, pay somebody
yeah,
else that can.
Exactly.
That's what they're getting paid for.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I bombed a few years in New York.
college is not important. We got that. Okay, kids?
It's important. I mean, it's good to learn things.
I say
but
that because my daughter's at
I
Mankato
know.
too, and she's like, you know, what am I going to use biology for? I go, good point.
I don't know.
But you're not there to learn biology. You're there to learn how to learn.
Yeah.
Make sense?
It's a great. I guess if I were to say one regret, I didn't get that whole college experience. Like
Got
I
it.
didn't get the dorm life.
think you missed it?
I didn't make college friends. I would go to colleges and party and hang out with some friends, but I didn't like have that full
You don't
experience.
seem like a partier.
So instead, I moved to New York by myself. Didn't know a single soul.
That's crazy. See?
And I
Now, again, with the overcoming fears, like,
I had
okay,
to.
so like, that's for me, a 6'2", 230-some pound guy, moving to New York, right now I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
well, it
you're
was-
at what age, 19?
I was 18. I
Oh my
turned
God.
18 in May, and I moved out, I think, in July.
So was it like, I don't really care, fear or not, or was there fear that you just had to go, you know what, I'm going to do it?
No.
Okay.
This is always kind
Right
of
on.
me. Just went for
Just
it.
going.
I just haven't.
Are
When
you
I had
that way? Are you still that way today?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I am. Maybe not the best thing. 'cause-
Okay, maybe not a good person to have overcoming fears episode with. I don't know.
No,
We'll figure it out.
no. Because I'm my own worst critic too. So that's probably my biggest fear is stopping myself.
So tell me more about that. What do you mean? Your own, like,
Well, just I have
like
such a
you're
high.
so hard on yourself?
Yeah, it's a high standard I want to try to always keep, an expectation of myself. And if I feel like I'm failing either my kids, having a difficult time with a client situation, the things we can't control, I want to be able to control it to
Yeah.
give a good experience, to provide for my children.
Awesome.
You know, that sort of thing. So I'm constantly beating myself up. I feel like, and that I've had to work to unlearn that.
Yeah,
And
I'm with you.
look back and be like, take a moment,
Yep.
see what you have accomplished in the last year, and we'll get a little bit more into that. On what I did have to get over.
Take notes.
And it was not easy. It was,
Right.
I mean, you could be deep down as possible on yourself, and you still got to dig your way out. I had no option to fail.
Right.
And I knew that.
You had to burn the boat.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yep.
And that's
so
it.
starting from scratch, literally tear all the pages out on a notepad, start with a clean slate,
Yeah.
and reworked it from there.
Yeah.
So.
And where were you roughly in your life when you did that? I mean, were you in New York?
Oh
When you
no,
were doing
that
your
was just a
thing?
couple years ago.
Oh, got it.
No,
Perfect.
New York was carefree, and
Yeah.
I tell my mom and my dad that I was like, whatever happened in New York, stayed in New York. We just kind of let that be in the past there.
I've never been there, so
So,
I
and
you know,
I lived on
Did you
Long.
leave your mark so I can look for, you know? Okay, good.
No, I lived on Long Island, so it was very much a beach. All I did was live at the beach.
You're not saying that right, are you? Isn't it Long Island?
Long Island.
Long Island.
Long
Yeah,
Island.
I can't do it.
Do coffee.
I can do. There it
you
is.
walk your dog. Yeah. So.
That was awesome.
And actually.
I can do Minnesota really well.
Yeah, you can.
We got that one.
So actually, my first little bit of the whole real estate industry world, the people that I nannied for were, they owned a
Brokerage. No.
they're-
Donut shop.
My God, can I spit it out, please?
Car wash.
They also were mortgage brokers.
Oh.
So, and that was in.
And they had a nanny? They must have been really good at what they do.
That was in 2006, 7, and 8.
Okay.
So.
I'm really old. I mean,
Well,
shoot.
I mean, but that was also, we all know what happened in that time.
I do.
So,
I was there.
and
I
I
was
saw
in
the
business
struggles
then.
and I heard about it.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, for me, I was in my early 20s. It didn't bother
We
me.
kind of
care
had
for
that
me.
same thing about a year ago.
Yeah. So, moved back from New York, pretty much stepped right into a big girl job.
So let me back up. So you're nannying for them.
Yep.
In Louisville, which I can't say. And they're mortgage brokers. Both of them own a company.
They owned it.
Okay.
The mother worked there,
So
the
then-
sister, the
okay,
brother-in-law.
awesome.
And I love you guys. I still do.
Don't know who you are, but
Yeah.
I'm sure if she loves
They're
you, I
in
love you
Tennessee
too.
now, so
Oh, good.
yeah.
They got to
they're
switch
doing-
accents.
They got Music City Mortgage, so if you need someone out in Tennessee.
There you go. Good. I'm licensed in Tennessee too, so don't use
Oh.
them. She didn't know
Sorry,
that.
I didn't
She didn't know that. That's not what this is about anyway. Anyways, so you're doing that, and then what? In like watching their. How long did you watch your kids for? How many?
It was-
A year or 6 months? Or?
No, like almost 3 years.
So holy cow. Okay, so during that time, you're like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, and and
Yeah.
this was like
I just knew it was an
hearing them
opportunity.
talk about realtors or
Oh,
real
about
estate
them?
agents. Yeah.
Just a little
Like
bit.
what like kind of clicked? Because
No, I just saw
nothing in that.
nothing crazy,
Okay.
and that was just the first initial interaction and experience with any sort of the real
Sure.
estate world. So I thought it was kind of interesting.
I better put that up library.
And I was like, "Am I good? Okay, I'm good."
So that was the first like intro to something.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we leave New York.
Lived in New York and
Long Island.
Long Island. Came back, got a big girl job, and
What was the big girl job?
I worked in trade shows. So,
Oh, okay.
so marketing department for both medical device and general aviation.
So traveling all over doing
Travel, set up the shows,
Okay.
get the sales reps from all over all over the place
Sure.
to the shows and sponsorships and that. So it was fun, but it I did it for 10 years and it kind
Oh
of
my
got to be the
gosh.
same thing
You're
and the
aging
same
yourself
shows,
now.
same people, and that's when I was like, what am I going to do right now? What am I going to do? I want
Did
something
you
different.
get sick of the industry, like the trade show thing, or
Yeah, it got to be. It's the same old thing.
Yeah,
It's,
just
the,
that
it's the same show,
over and
same
over,
location.
not doing the things you want to do, not having the time you want?
Yeah, a lot of traveling.
So did you like to travel?
I did. See, at that point, I did.
Okay.
Because I didn't
And then
really
it
have
was-
kids or anything like that, so I just
Did you have kids like
Nope.
in there? It wasn't
It's
until
but a little later on in the.
during that
Yep.
process?
Yep.
Okay. And then in your mind, did it say, well, I got to stay home with my kids, or
Yeah,
I
just
want a
got
quality
time
of life
to
versus, big
slow down.
dollars, or
Yep, slow down. It was slow down time, and that's why I got comfortable eating alone.
which I think is sad.
And actually, well,
Apparently, it's not sad. It's people do it. Rafi, where'd he go? Oh,
no,
I
it's
not
fine.
only need another drink, but I was
and
going to ask him.
I actually enjoyed traveling by myself. It was actually funny when I went on a first trip with like a group. I was like, you guys are so slow. Like I want to do things on my time.
Oh, you like want to go.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just I timed it perfect to get to the airport and literally walk up to the gate and never like have downtime there.
Yeah.
I got so good at it.
Right.
So, and my mom, she'd drive me to the airport so I don't have to park a car there.
Yeah.
But actually, I would drive
And you drive because
I
you didn't want to wait for her.
because my mom was the slowest driver. She couldn't do it.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I did that, and then
was it a search for like a quality of life? Like I needed to have more time with my kids, but still want to make X amount of dollars or anything like that, or
well, I got introduced to it when I bought my first house.
Oh, there you
and my
go.
friend Jamie was in real estate.
Okay.
And I'm not an idiot. I did know, like, when a lot of people think of real estate agents, like, oh, the free time, your own schedule. And I knew that, though, going into it, that's not the case.
well,
You're
maybe-
owning your own business. You
Yeah.
actually invest more time than, like, the normal person would. So,
I 100% agree with you.
So I knew it was
people
gonna
get in the
be-
mortgage business all the time. They're like, well, I want to get in. I get licensed. Great.
yeah.
What do I do now? Call your ass off. Meet as many people as you possibly can.
Yeah.
You're going to work more hours now in the next 5 years than you ever worked in your entire career.
Exactly.
And they're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
What? I didn't sign up for that. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're out.
But I knew that going into it.
Good.
But I was excited because I wanted a challenge. I was
You're hard to
I need a challenge.
Yep.
And I need to have kind of maybe not a good thing. Constant change. I need moving parts.
Okay.
Otherwise, I get bored pretty quick.
Okay.
I don't think I have ADHD, but I don't know.
Yeah. Might need to get tested.
So,
It's adult onset now, so you're an adult,
yeah.
so you can go and
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get all kinds of stuff for that.
Yeah. So that was 7 years ago.
Got it.
So I've been in the industry for about 7 years.
7 years, and you started off. So talk about, since we're talking about overcoming fears.
Yeah.
New York was not obviously a fear. That was just, hey, I'm just gonna go do it, which is great. I don't know. My life was set in front of me based on my only goal was to play college football. So literally that was all set in front of me. What I was gonna be a cop.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. The history of my background might have not allowed it. But anyways, the long and short of it is, what in that, like when, so now we're, back, we're doing trade shows, blah, blah, blah. I like the part where you and I have something similar where we're very hard on ourselves. Like, I've got to keep going. You always talk about my ice baths and stuff, which I don't put on camera and all
He
that
does
bullshit.
ice baths. It's just like, let's
Yeah.
get up at 3:30 in the morning and go sit in ice water.
I
It's
sleep in,
just-
it's 4:30. It's 4:30. I tell you, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. You like constant change? Get an ice bath. There you go. I'll buy you one. Put it in your house. You just got to sit in it. But anyways, no, and that goes back to the things. I really don't care what people think or do or what I'm doing. A lot of people are like, well, you should put that out there. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not. And I started putting it out there and I'm like, what truth? I mean, that's my truth. But necessarily it doesn't mean everybody's truth,
Yeah.
such as yourself. You're like, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
Forget it. But being hard on myself is really the part that I like to focus on with you, as well as overcoming fears, is that kind of drives me to continue to do what I'm doing. Meaning, I don't eat certain things and I don't, do certain things because I've always got this constant thing that I'm chasing. And people might think it's a goal, but it's not necessarily a goal. It's just in my brain, like
It's wired. It's wired.
It's wired that way.
It's wired.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go from that to all of a sudden, you bought your first house, and now you're going to do real estate. Was there any part of that fear, and then when you started having children and stuff like that you're like, what am I going to do to
Get business.
Yeah. To drive to where I need to be? Because
Yeah.
right now, I mean, last year and working in this year, very successful. You don't have a huge team. You just do the right things, and you're just truthful and honest and open. But during that, when you started 7 years ago, when the fear started to kick in, what did you do to be like, I got to make money, what am I going to do?
Relied on others. I was a part of a good.
Message.
I'll admit, there's some agents that can come in and just completely rock it.
What do you mean when, okay,
Like,
so
right,
this
they
is
get
good for
licensed,
people to
and the
know.
next thing you know, they've
Are
already.
they just doing this, you think?
They either have a very big network of people that they
Surrounding
already
people?
know, they already know, like, and trust you.
Okay.
So it was just easy for them to tap into that.
So let me go with that. You said something that I always use.
No, like, and
No
trust.
like and trust. Right?
Yep.
Is that 100% how you work? Like, I need to know you, like you, and trust you before I'll work with you? Even with clients or someone like myself?
I'm a very trustworthy person right off the bat, I guess.
And then what happens when you get burned?
Oh.
You're gone, right?
It's hard to come back from that.
You're a lot like me.
Because I just, I know I'm giving my all in it.
Everything.
And again, standards, expectation, and I just constantly want to pull people
With
up
you.
there
And
with me.
they don't want to come.
And not everybody does.
A lot of them don't.
And then you have to realize that, and either, sorry,
Yeah.
it is.
And I mean, do you think you got to be nice about that, or you be like,
You can be. I mean, I'm never going to be too,
not
very
you.
brash. Oh,
Right.
me. I was like,
Yeah,
but
you, I mean, have you ever had that point, like, where it's like, you're done, and just, you're not.
yeah,
you're not
I
doing-
don't make a scene about it. It's just, yeah.
Just not a return phone call kind of person.
Yeah.
Hope they figure it out.
Get the
Are
hint.
you confrontational or no?
Depends. Yeah, not really.
So what do you mean? Like, what would make you confrontational?
If you
Mess with your children?
mess with my children, my business.
Knew that was coming.
People I care about and love. Like I'm very mama bear.
Yeah.
I will admit that,
Yep.
and I get that way pretty quickly with my clients, and I actually want them to feel that sense of.
Yeah, well,
like,
they can.
I want to take you and keep you safe,
Yeah.
and
I've noticed that. That's
Just-
the other reason that I wanted to have this conversation with you, because that's kind of how I am.
Yeah. And it happens very quickly. And some people,
they kind of do this. They're like,
they
whoa!
can, and that's okay. Not everybody's gonna vibe off of it.
Yeah.
But those that I try to attract, they're like, I want, I hope they're looking for that. I hope they're looking for the hand holding and the guidance that comes from some experience.
Which they need. I think I've been doing it for a long time. A couple decades. I mean, I look good for my age. Come on. Hello? Anyone? Just hit the subscribe when you hear that. Yes, he does look good for his age.
Right there.
Right? Just go. But I've gone through the roller coaster ride
sure.
of the
And
many
longer
years.
than I have.
But I have never, thank you. But I have never, ever, even with the online stuff and then, the attraction, I didn't do this because everybody knows what this means, but the attraction is always about the individual.
Yeah.
And then I'm not about the individual. Like, I'm not about necessarily Amber Steiner. I'm about how she is and what she does with her customers. So I'm more consumer driven than I am appeasing someone that isn't consumer driven, if that makes sense.
Well, let's admit it. There's a lot of loan officers. There's a lot of real estate agents. There's a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of ones.
Yeah.
All right. So I just, in my experience, and you've gone through this longer, is you've got to find the right partners. You're building your team.
Yeah.
And I tell my clients that, my buyers especially, like, you're building your team. You need your loan officer.
Yeah.
You need a real estate agent. You need a title company. You're building your A team to get you through this process as smooth as possible. It's absolute winning.
What's the number? There isn't, I guess in every aspect of different societies, but in our area, the Midwest, by far, the most you will ever spend on something is your house.
Yeah.
It is the largest investment you will ever do in your entire life. And again, I don't want to get on a tangent on our businesses, but that's really about what we're talking about, is the fears that they have as well, how we've been through those in many, many sources and many, many times and I still see to this day stuff I've never seen before in my entire life. And if you don't have somebody that is able to just, if something goes sideways, not go with it, you don't want them around because it just creates so much, it's the worst thing that they could ever do. Now, if they had a terrible experience and they're in their house, great. But my point is, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The experience is the point. The house is always going to be there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I'm all about continued relationships. Like, that's important to me. I tell my clients, you're not getting rid of me once you close in the house. I love to entertain. I love to bring people together. It's anybody that's close to me knows that.
Right.
I mean, I've hosted a lot of themed events and get-togethers. And
when I first met you, you're like, hey, do you want to do that? I'm like,
yeah. So it's a thing. It's a thing. And I love the people that I've had the opportunity to work with, like, truly enjoy their company.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just one of the lucky ones that, have connected with the right people.
I don't think so. No, I don't know. And I would like to stop you there because I know it's not luck. I know it's what you do as a person.
Yeah.
And that's, again, ingrained in you or whatever it might be.
I want to take it to the next level. Like we go, it's kind of sad sometimes when you spend, weeks, months, couple months with these people and you're talking and or years in some instances.
Been there.
We spend so much time together. You're out there and you're looking at homes and you get connected to them through the emotions of looking for a property or something like that. So, and then all of a sudden you close and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, bye.
Yeah.
I even had a client 2 weeks ago.
We were dating for a year and now you're just leaving,
Right?
I guess, whatever.
No, I had a client that messaged me afterwards, left an awesome review, and it just warmed my heart. He's like, I almost feel bad that I don't have another house to sell because I want to work. He's like, maybe in the future. And
There
I was like, oh my
That's
gosh,
great.
that means so much to me.
true.
Like, that people care to continue to see me because I know I want to see you.
Yeah.
I'll bother you.
Right.
But the fact that they want to come see me still, that's awesome.
and
And I want to give them reason to.
Well, it's a tribute to your character, 100% of your character and how you build. So let's talk about that. Obviously born, you have some attributes from your parents, but when it came to fears and you had to overcome them, can you think of one thing or a few things that in the real estate business, like you knew how to, like we would get back to how you're going to get business, but were you fearful going from a solid paycheck to zero? And like,
Absolutely.
what am I going to do? So take me through the process of how you overcame that fear of I'm, salaried and probably
benefits,
commission, benefits, the whole deal, right?
Yeah.
Eyes, teeth, taken care of to nothing.
I was so excited about it.
And why?
And that's because I knew I could do something more with it than I was where I was currently at.
Okay.
So I was really excited for the opportunity there. Love meeting new people. I'm like, I can't fail at this if I do the work. And it took time. I was slow.
Message.
I was slow to start. I'll admit it. Like, I only did a few deals my first, and a couple more, and it wasn't probably till my 4th year.
And why do you think it? So, okay, you're fearful. Like, I don't have anything. Did you have kids at that time?
Yeah.
Children?
Yeah.
So was it, I've got kids, I don't have a choice?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's where you relied on, I was a part of a team at that point, and they were amazing, and that the moral support. Because you do get down on yourself, like, why am I not getting business? Like, I feel like I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't stop. You cannot take your foot off the pedal.
Then agreed.
And you've got to have the clearest vision and goal, and that's literally blinders on, and that's it. Because failure was not an option. And
so
then
I think that's a huge key. What you just said is, most people get tied up in fear and failure, and they get, just like freeze.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? And the only thing you can do is move.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's tapping into your support team.
Yeah.
At
Rafi,
that,
seriously. I mean, where is this guy?
So just making sure, if you are in that position, if you are a solo agent and you're struggling with that and you don't know where to turn and you feel like you're behind because the last couple of years you took a break after COVID, whatever it is get around people that can help you.
Yeah.
They want, like me, they want to help. They want you to succeed. You got to be willing to do the work, though. You got to be willing and open to change.
Work's a 4-letter word in this world now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be Instagram famous, going back to all the bull junk,
Yeah.
bull shirt.
Just say it.
But that's the frustration, hence why we're doing the Unscripted podcast. The
Because it's real.
Agent, because we're not going to always have agents and things, but my point is that people need realism.
And I'll tell my story because it's not a pretty one either. Like, I have gone, and just in the last 2 years, I went from to rock bottom.
Yeah.
Like, overnight, I felt like.
Yeah.
And I will be the voice, the whatever, for those agents that have gone through that and can actually look and reflect and maybe know the struggle that I went through.
Right.
And how did I get out of that?
Yeah,
what did I have to do?
Let's talk about it. I'm not kidding, because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because people, in your case, you being a different person, a different human when it comes to that, I've been there as well. Oh. I've been where I'm talking to my wife and I'm like, I literally don't know.
Yeah.
All I can do is move and take action, and that's all I'm going to do. And it works out.
Yeah.
But you didn't stop. You went here and you went there. Then what? You're just like, shit, now what do I do? Right?
It did. I had so focused on some personal stuff that distracted me from that.
That's fine.
And it just, and I feel like people could sense that. Like, looking back now, I'm like, why isn't
customers and stuff?
Why? What's happening? My sphere, whatever. Like, all of a sudden, I'm like, so and so went and bought a house or sold a house without me, and I'm like, I thought but some people probably got the sense of that. I was, more absent, whatever it was.
Distant for some reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had
trying to figure it out.
Yep. So I had in 2022. Yeah. Was.
Okay. What is this one?
That's the.
You don't mind?
Oh no. Chino Latino.
Now these are all margaritas?
Correct. They're so good. They're so good.
I'm not a fan of the pink salt on that one.
Oh. I'm going to say no salt.
I'm going to drink it, otherwise you better drink it. I'm tell you.
Rafi!
Where is Rafi? Hey, Vibe. I need you, bro. So, okay, the personal stuff and all that, brother. Pajarito. Amigo. I'm going to do the old-fashioned. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. The Vibe. I got to change your name to the Vibe. Okay. So we got personal, and you think people can notice the distance and there's something going on there?
Yep.
But you didn't curl up in a ball and you didn't give up.
No.
Oh, did you hear what I just said?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
What are you going to do, Trevor? Are you going to bleep that out?
That was
I don't know. Is my YouTube channel for kids or not? We don't really need to.
No, it's fine.
He's like back there going, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Would you stop talking like that? It's tough. That's how I talk. See, my pastor knows how I talk, so everybody else can listen to how I talk.
That's right.
They're vulgarities, and you know what? I don't take GD or JC. That will never come out of my
Listen,
mouth.
it's just so easy sometimes.
It is.
It's a filler. It's your.
What do we call them? Exploratives? Explicatives?
Yeah.
I don't know. It failed grammar, English, all that stuff. I failed it. Kids don't walk in your dad's footsteps. So,
Oh, I got stories about my kids throwing out some F-bombs. I'm like,
Oh.
oh, a 5-year-old.
by the way, let's tell them how old your kids are first. That'll be really good.
She's 5.
And how old your son?
He's 8.
Yeah, so-
And all of a sudden, she said something about like the F word. And I was like, excuse me, what F word? And she just, and I was like, that was really cute and hilarious, but no.
Yeah, we can't be using that. Only to your teachers. I'm
Who
kidding.
told you that?
I'm kidding.
Where did you hear
Don't
that?
tell your teachers that. That'll get you expelled. All right, so we don't curl up in a ball.
No.
What happens?
No,
Because your fear and you're like,
Oh
everything.
gosh,
So
I
there's-
haven't thought about getting out of the industry, like
Right,
completely.
that's my
like
point.
I did. Give yourself grace if you are struggling and you don't know where to go. But what do you want? Because kind of back to that clear vision. Like I'm like, I don't want to get out of the industry. I love what I do. This is a passion of mine. But
Yeah, you wake up and you want to go to work. You don't wake up and dread to go to work.
No,
Right.
but it's just like, where do I even start? Where do I begin? And actually, I looked inward very deeply. I hired a coach.
Good.
And that was big.
Another good message.
So I invested more in myself than I ever have.
Okay, let me just stop right there. So I have a coach as well. I have many successful people that I know have coaches. I had coaches all through college. I was coaches all through high school. I think a coach, in every shape and form, and whether people agree with me or not, I don't give a shit. But I believe that the coaches, life coaches, personal coaches, business coaches, I mean, most of us hire a trainer, even though we work out.
Yeah.
Right? Hiring somebody that knows more than you gets you to where you need to be faster than you can get on your own.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm a huge advocate to anybody else that's out there that literally is like in a hole, this market, there's no inventory, blah, blah, blah. When you think you're going to afford it or not, then find somebody that maybe isn't expensive, but get somebody that's done it and have them just pound on you daily or weekly.
The coach
or whatever it is.
Or
you know
like
what I mean?
a good team manager, like a good whatever
or
that
somebody
is.
in the
Somebody else.
Yeah.
It is hard. You find somebody to support you.
'Cause you
And I'm
can't-
not talking
you
your
can't
spouse. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your spouse, as much as they love you, want to support you, they're not that person that's going to help you or like your parents or something like that.
Because they're going to love you no matter what.
Exactly.
And to everybody out there, I don't care anything you are, your parents are not in the good spot.
Yep.
Matter of fact, even your close friends are not.
Yep.
Because let's face it, most of us have 5 close friends on our hand and maybe 2 that you could really...
And they're busy with their own
and
stuff.
And they have their own stuff. So you need somebody that can actually separate from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hiring a coach was, such a big move. Definitely invested in myself.
I know, we talked last week about being on this show with your coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and
She,
Angie Gerber. I crave talking to her every
shout
week.
out to Angie Gerber.
Angie Gerber.
I
crave talking to her because she is my mental reset.
Okay.
And I could talk to your point of like friends, spouse, family members, like you can talk to them all day, but having that someone that's a little bit more distant to it and is pretty straight to the point, that was a night and day.
They cut out all the feelings, right? They're like, get to work. You know, hey, dip. I get it. You're sad, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay not to be okay.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And people are always so worried about, I just don't feel like it. It doesn't matter, honestly.
Sorry, put that aside.
Yeah, you got to do it anyway.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I think that's a big factor of this episode of Overcoming Your Fears is you just got to do it.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to do it. And you don't have to do it alone. That's the biggest piece.
God, we didn't even script that one. That was good. Nailed it.
Okay, and so coach, that was one key piece that I made a big adjustment on.
And again, we're talking on the downturn. You were up, and now we're here.
I had to literally rework
valley.
everything. I left a team that I loved dearly, but I just had to figure out where I needed to be.
Sure.
And I needed kind of to quiet a lot of the noise for a lot of different personal business, whatever. I needed that space. So I did that. That was a big freaking leap of faith into myself.
Well, I mean, probably a huge investment too.
It was.
I would assume.
So I was able to.
Because I mean, coaching's not.
Yeah.
To get to success, it doesn't necessarily. It's not free.
Yeah.
If you want to put in the work, and you put in the work, and it's just not working, you might have to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
And you invest and spend money on that doesn't matter to you anyway.
Yeah.
Why not invest in yourself?
And take the time to figure out where you want to invest. Don't look for every shiny object.
No,
That's the other
that's
thing
one
is
of the biggest
people.
things for all of us.
I hear about it, and we're all guilty of it. We
For
all
of
do.
us. That's what I'm saying. Even in our
Yeah.
industry, we're like, oh, I can make so much more money, and they're going to give me this and that and the other thing. Grass is not greener. Do your research. Think about it.
Relationships are so much more important to me.
Right, loyalty and relationships is where
Yeah.
life will always take you. And
Yeah.
if you're wearing gasoline underwear and carrying a match, and you're burning,
Gasoline underwear.
but you're burning those bridges, you know what I mean? You get over the top, you're like, throw it over your shoulder. Sooner or later, you're on your own. You're like,
Yeah.
what'd I do? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Well, when I got introduced to you,
You chased all the wrong. That's what happened.
Yeah. And a lender partner is something I've worked with many amazing, loan officers
Oh,
before.
calm down.
There's a lot of good ones
No,
out
not
there.
the ones-
I
no,
have.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
have, but
horrible.
I got connected to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like we kicked it off personality-wise is big.
Yeah.
I think we are both very driven. We've got the same moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
We have values are the same. Like a lot of those things are so important. And
I think one of the biggest ones that I liked was the customer first approach.
Oh yeah.
Consumer is all I care about.
Consumer experience. Like
Yeah,
that's.
but I mean them personally, like you said,
Yeah.
I can care about them personally.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
there are people that I have worked with in the past that are not my partners in real estate that I'm just like, you're a piece of shit. I mean, I wouldn't walk across the street and piss on you if you're on fire. I mean, but they are transactional. That's my
Yeah.
point. That's the
No,
difference.
I get it.
Just
And
being real about the situation is when you're about that person, that's the only thing that matters. That's what gets me out.
Yeah.
What do you need, and how fast
Yeah.
can I possibly get it to you?
It's the smallest thing you might not realize, maybe you do, but it's the smallest thing that I see that you do in your communication with your clients is, I think it's adorable when you say like, what's up fam?
Yeah.
Listen, it is
Well, and that's
literally just slipping it right in there and be
that's-
like, listen, when you say
You're my
family,
family.
I got
Yeah.
your back. I'm
Yeah,
going to take
yeah.
care of you. I was
Yeah.
like, I like that. That's
Yeah, there's
cute.
one thing you know about, people don't know about me, is that you, like my family, my kids, my daughters,
Yeah.
and my dog,
Yeah.
maybe my wife. I'm kidding. My wife too. Is that if you step in there, you better be able to understand that I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that they're protected.
Yeah.
And my customers and the consumers that I want to deal with, I want them to know the same thing. Right? I'm not about doing it because I was referred by you. Once you're mine, like that's how I want to treat you, as you're mine. Like you're my family.
Yep. Yep. So I thought, I was like, I like that.
So you get in the valley, you get a coach, and then how do things go after that to get over it? Your fears you're crazy high, fearful, you're driven by your kids, and all attributes that I can say are amazing. That anybody that doesn't think that's a good attribute,
No.
don't watch this and don't call us. But point being is, then what? Like now we got a coach, and then how do we just keep going to where you're at now today?
Well, it goes back to the basics. So anybody talks about,
Another message.
it's always back to the basics. It's
Am I going to be in trouble, Trevor, from taking that from the Wayans brothers? Do you remember that? Or are you too young for that? You're too young for that. You're both probably too young.
No.
I'm dealing with 12-year-olds, folks. Again, I know I look good for the age. Do you have to kill somebody to make that drink or what? Do you have to kill somebody for that old fashioned? Do I got to get back there? Do I have to get back there and make it myself? I'm kidding. I don't know if Rafi's going to like me after
I don't know about that.
He started slowing down on
I was
his.
like,
He's like, this guy. Oh, there it was again. All right, so you get out, you coach, and
back to basics.
Back to basics.
We are in a people business. And with the big hearts that we do have,
yeah,
I need to put that out there. And I need to find the people that need help.
yeah,
And,
and they're everywhere,
they're everywhere.
unfortunately. But I mean, fortunately for us. But I
Yeah.
mean, what happens in today's world is everybody goes online, and that's another reason that I do what I do, is I'm trying to grab the consumer before they get to somebody that's not
Sure.
going to be you
Isn't that
or
the truth?
somebody within my
Yeah.
circle, because
Yeah.
they're going to get. Let's get to the facts of the deal and unscript this whole thing. Is that people have a connotation of mortgage people
And real estate agents.
real estate agents that you used car salesmen,
Yep.
and they're like, ugh, shit.
Oh, it hurts. I think it physically hurts
Physically
them
hurts them. And
to like reach out.
Oh my God.
I don't want to call a real estate agent.
Oh, this is like, and then the mortgage guys, Slicky McMortgage, always taking advantage of people. But that's what it is. That's what it was. You're guaranteed failure when you meet people like that, and that inundated with the social media people that look at me like, hey everybody, like the Ron Burgundy quote, hey everybody, come look how great I look. You know what I mean?
I mean, I could see you saying that.
Yeah, I don't think I can get this big thing going, thick enough, the hair. But that's the whole idea of this podcast, is to get people aware that that's not how it should be. It should be with the people that can tell you how to overcome things, overcome your fears and different things like that. And then bring you in to the circle, right? And my hope is not as deep as yours, which meaning like I love my people and I always stay in touch with them, but I understand that they've got lives and stuff too, and I got lives, but I'll stay in touch, here and there and do those things.
Your situation's a little different because you do hide behind
so many.
Well, I mean, you're not the face-to-face, you're not out there constantly with the face-to-face, which I know you would if you have.
I have if you ask.
Yeah.
Yes. I prefer not to. Come on, buddy. Come on, the vibe. You're in. Thanks, buddy.
Big cube. He had to go get the cubes.
Oh, it was? Did you have to make it? Freeze it? Quick?
Just real quick.
Yeah.
I knew I loved it here. Thanks, brother. Yes.
Good, thank you.
You need any more food?
No, obviously
Cheers.
I haven't.
Thank you, by the way. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not that we're signing out, but it's been a great time. So, just keep going with, you're out there in front of them, and, I like to be in front and walk them through it.
Yeah.
Always available if they want to sit down.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate about you, a couple times where you sit down in person.
Yeah.
Face-to-face, since COVID and all that, I'm a face-to-face person.
Yeah.
You build more trust that way, you get body language,
the
you
majority of that stuff, when I can't do it, I always send the videos and things with it. That's a
different.
huge key.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's,
just a side note, the whole video thing, that was in here. It was kind of funny. You do that all the time.
I do.
The video and the email.
I do if my video is working,
And
but
that's
apparently
great.
it doesn't work sometimes.
No, it's great.
Like last night.
My mom's brought her car in to get serviced or whatever, and the gentleman, right after they met, probably a few minutes, he must have hopped on his computer and did a video to her. And she's like, hey, I got this idea for you. You might be able to use it for real estate, but I got an email from the car shop guy, and he sent a video in his email. And he's like, hey, Kim, just want to remind you, it was really nice to meet you, and we're going to take good care of you. And she's like, it was just so personal and so nice. And I was like, Mom, I know, I need to do the thing. Like, I already know. I have played with Bomb. Yeah.
Co-video is better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bomb.
Co-video?
Co-video.
Okay.
CO video.com.
Got it. But anyways, I just thought.
Not sponsored, but, if you're available, we'll take the money. I got to pay a video guy. He's expensive as shit.
And the drinks.
And apparently I got to buy the drinks too. I'm just kidding. I knew I was going to do that anyway.
But anyways, that was just a side note.
No,
because,
it's
it goes beyond just letters in an email.
But
it's hearing your face. Hearing your face.
Yeah. So, if we were to recap, and you had to tell somebody coming, not just going over the Amber Steiner team, or just into real estate, about overcoming your fears and things you can do, what would you break that down into maybe 3 or 4 tips?
Better grow your balls.
Even if you don't have any, grow them.
No,
I can get that on a t-shirt. Trevor, can we get t-shirts made?
Oh.
BetterGrowYourBalls.com. Something. What's wrong? It's unscripted. It's perfect. I don't know. He's going to send. He might edit it. He might not. I think you better keep it in there.
Well.
Okay. So is that number 1? Better grow your balls.
It's not easy. Let's just say
anything we're doing is not easy, right?
Yes.
Would you agree?
So,
okay.
But if you want there is freedom. There is unlimited growth and potential. So if this
no
is
ceiling,
there isn't.
Right.
And if that's something you want to go after, you better be so focused. Find the support to help you. No one has to go it alone because, like, to your point of finding someone who's already done it, there's a roadmap in place.
Yeah.
Don't rework it.
Right.
Go back to the basics. People.
So grow a pair of balls. Go back to the basics.
Support.
Support. Go back to the basics. So when things are good, here's the other thing that I'd like to throw in there because we only got 3 tips. But when things are good, things are good. What you lose fact of or lose focus on is the things that got you there.
Oh,
So
for
what
sure.
I would like to say to anybody that's looking to do any kind of business, real estate, mortgage, something where you're starting on your own and not going to have anybody to support you with benefits or your basic 9 to 5er, is don't forget where you came from. Where you started is where you can go. It'll always be the same. Whether you start getting 50 deals a month in online whatever, they'll eventually go away.
Yeah.
And you have to go back to the basics.
Back to the basics.
And as long as, I think the biggest piece of overcoming a fear is going, okay, I got here. I was scared back then. Let's just go back to what got me here.
Yep. It's kind of, it's a fear of, I don't want to go backwards. I never want to go backwards.
Right.
I will never go backwards again.
Right.
I let it happen. I learned so much about myself and situations that I put myself in and this and that. Like, I will never go back to that. I have now grown exponentially as far as like comfort and self-awareness and all of that, that I got to be unwavering when it comes to that. And the other big piece is when I was at my lowest and I was struggling and my mindset was down and I just felt like the
They go
world is
hand in
crashing
hand.
around
Yeah.
me. All I kept reading about is how to get yourself out of that is being grateful. The tiniest things. Start there every day. Write 10 things you're grateful for.
That's amazing.
Reach out to those that you're grateful for.
That's amazing.
I'm so grateful that we had that conversation. When I actually sat down and looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to be grateful for. So when you start digging into that and then putting it out there, it's amazing the reciprocation. Then that feels a little bit better when they're like, wow, that was random reach out, but thank you, I appreciate you.
Serotonin.
It just kept coming and building and building. So
That's amazing.
we
could cut this whole freaking thing and we could rely on that one tip right there. 'Cause that's
it.
exactly
and
it.
I have not let go of that. I
Yeah.
try to let anybody know that I appreciate them, whatever it is, like the smallest, biggest, whatever. Life is all about interactions with people and
Yeah,
each other.
it is.
Might as well make it a great one
Yeah.
and let the other person on the other side know
Yeah.
that they are appreciated.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the fact that your brain is wired 100% for negativity constantly, and the world is nothing but that. I mean, you talk about, we don't, in my house, we don't watch the news. I mean, I don't even think we have regular stream. Like, I have streaming during the fall to watch football.
yeah.
But then it shuts off. I don't
Same.
watch news at all. But everything is not that bad. And if you sit back, I do that on a daily basis. God bless my family and some of the struggles that they have with their children and their health and things like I don't have that, you know? I've got these beautiful kids and the things are right and yeah, my house is ginormous and I don't have all these great things. But what are great things?
Yeah.
The stuff that doesn't cost money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the greatest thing that you can have, the relationships and the things that you can list. So anytime you're fearful and you think you're just not going to make it, look around, write down what you have, and you'll be surprised. And that will change your mindset completely, and all of a sudden things will just start coming again.
You are rewiring that.
Yeah, and
I mean,
you know, it's
talk
like
nice to yourself
Yeah.
and then you and
it
sending
just
that
comes
out.
and it comes out.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like you can't get over it. I know you think you can.
Yeah.
Time is a great healer, and unfortunately, we live in an instant gratification world. Like my coffee's not here in 3 seconds. Like me,
Where your
bitching
drink?
about my drink for the last half hour, Rafi.
Where is it at?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not that important when it comes down to it. Your health, your family, and your heart and your brain is all that matters. And you go back to those things and you lay that out and you look at it because you think you can do it on your own. You can mentally think about it, which you can.
Yeah.
But when you put it on paper or on your phone or whatever it is, it just starts to, you're like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Or I
Yeah.
didn't think of that either. You know, like it isn't that bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, with that said, cheers. Thank you for sitting with me and letting everybody know how awesome you are and how real you are. And that's what this is all about. So thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.